Now let's take a look at a servo motor. The servo motor is a little bit more difficult to use than the DC motor. The DC motor, as we know, just spins in a circle and we never know where the shaft is. The servo motor can only position the shaft between negative 120 degrees and up to positive 120 degrees for a total swing of about 3/4 of a circle. It can't go in a full circle, and but we do know the position of the shaft. It'll go up, it'll go down by those degrees or those angles. So it's well suited for, let's say, positioning the rudder of a model airplane. So again, the servo motor can rotate between a negative angle like negative 120 up to positive 120. To get the servo to swing between these two angles, we give it a waveform. The waveform looks like this. The waveform repeats every 20 milliseconds. The high time determines the angle. If the high time is 1.25 milliseconds, it is fully left, which is negative 120 degrees. If the high time is 1.75 milliseconds, then it is fully to the right, and the angle is plus 120 degrees. Between those two positions is the angle 0. This is the middle. And the high time would be, of course, between those two numbers, which is 1.5 milliseconds. To achieve this in the software, it's pretty easy. You send out to PB0 or 1, and then you delay for the time shown in the table that you wish to have. So you have to decide what angle you want to be at. That will then correspond to a certain time, and that time is used in your delay. Then you make PB0 a 0, and then you delay for 18.5 milliseconds, and this is the downtime. The period doesn't have to exactly equal 20 milliseconds. So to make my life easier, I'm just going to have the low time always be 18.5 milliseconds. It's close enough. And then you repeat. You do the send out a 1, delay, send out a 0, delay, and again you just sit there in a loop and repeat this. That will keep the servo at that particular angle. If you want to move the servo angle, of course you simply change the T1 time. The servo takes a fraction of a second to achieve its angle. So you can't just send this out once and expect the servo to be at that angle. You must sit here in a loop, repeat this, and the servo will run to that angle and then be there at that angle. And for the servo to be at that angle, you must repeat these lines of code.